All right, it's thinking. All right, hello, we're live, everybody. How you doing? I see. Nathan's on there, my friend. How you doing? It'll take a few minutes to release people in and people kind of gather here. So wait a few minutes before it all gets started.
I think I think this are you fishing this Toyota? Are you coming
No,
up for it?
I wasn't going to do any Toyotas, but at the last minute, I hopped in the Kentucky Lake one.
Yeah, yeah. I think I've been tying jigs. I tied up one that I think will be all right.
Yeah.
It's a green pumpkin, black and blue mix,
Oh,
but it's got
nice.
it's got that living rubber.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got my hands on some of that. I think it'll do all right.
Yeah, you are the
Makes it a little bit different.
you're the lure maker too here. We've got Nathan Holquist on here. I met him up at the Quad Cities Tackle Show. He makes Snoopy's lures here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He makes some really cool stuff. If you haven't seen him yet here,
I don't know that I've ever heard of that.
and he just sent me some custom jobs because I threw some of these little Medusa Neds here I got last time.
Yeah.
Look at these things. These
Oh
things
my goodness.
float, isn't it? And it's got the flat tail.
Yeah, that's kind
But I
of
was getting them hung up at Lake of Ozarks. I'm like, hey, are you making one weedless? He goes, oh, I was just doing that. Some people were asking for that. So I got some prototypes.
yeah.
I am ready to go with this baby.
Dude, that looks sick.
Uh-huh.
That looks awesome.
Snoopy's Lures.
I'm gonna have to check those
Snoopy's
out. Yeah,
CustomLures.com.
this is uh that living rubber. And
Oh, yeah.
in the water, it's just a ball. It almost looks like a super thin version of the Ica or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah.
The squid bait.
Yeah. 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 All right, 8 people. Hello, everybody. Hi, Tim. Hey, JK, James. Always good to see you. James, I half thought you were going to jump in that Kentucky Lake tournament the way you're talking, but didn't see that. We got some other people. Say hi, everybody. Um, okay, Monday Night Live. We'd like to welcome Thomas Duke back on. He's fresh off the water on Kentucky Lake, and we can talk about a bunch of that stuff. We got some new plans for the channel. I'm not sure if you guys seen it. You might have seen it since I just hit 600 subscribers and 150,000 views, which is pretty amazing. Still
I
blows
saw
my
that.
mind.
I was so excited. I was like, yes, we hit it.
At 500, I got monetized, and YouTube's just been on me for the monetized stuff. So I did set up a couple of member packages. I cut what they said what I should charge in half. It's like $2.99 and $4.99 a month. We'll have some member only videos, and I've tagged some already. Some of the juicier on the water ones, or a couple of the juicier live streams here. There's super chat stickers in here. And what I'm not going to get rich with this. I'm not trying to make any money after you guys. What I want to do with the money is put it back in the channel for like road trips. Road trips, like I'm going to Grand Lake this week here, cost extra money. Kind of camera gear, get some more camera stuff. And what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to get some like giveaways and tackle deals or something other too for like
Hey,
the stream nights.
I'll throw in on that. You just let me know.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get you some PR and stuff, and kind of, help out the other people. I got Nathan here from Snoopy's Custom Lures. He's doing some stuff. I was just talking with Bullseye Bait and Tackle here. They're a local shop over in O'Fallon here, just on the other side of the
Yeah.
river here. They've got some really good stuff. They got some. It's a small shop, but they got some high-end lures, and he does some custom stuff too. Trying to get something going there. And you guys, you guys tell me here. I have been reaching out to some other kind of meatier guests here. I've been trying to get some's kind of a scheduling conflict. My channel's a little bit small, and maybe if we offered them something up, they'd come on and talk to us. So I'm open to all of those kind of ideas. So I figured I'd throw that out there to everyone. A little bit of a commercial. So first off, Thomas, I had a bunch of people kind of wondering, saying, "Hey, I've never seen this before. Um, here's a guy who has a fish, but it's one fish for 0 pounds. How does that work? Want to
So
explain how you catch a fish for 0 pounds?"
yeah, yeah, that was a fun one. I had a 3.5 pounder, and
Nice.
in the live
Largemouth?
well, yeah, largemouth. Caught it early on a rig, and my boater. We were on our way back, and his motor just starts screaming like it's flashing lights, it's squealing, and
Through a
he
rod.
yeah. So we were on our way back from the spot. We weren't very far, but I guess it was low on oil, or it was the sensor was saying it was low on oil and it wouldn't let us go over like 5 miles an hour.
You just had to
So
idle, right?
yeah, we had to idle, and even then, sometimes we couldn't even idle.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my one fish for 0 pounds, guys. Because we got back to the weigh in, and they were like, yeah, go ahead and weigh it. It's good good coverage. And then zeroed us out. But yeah, it was disappointing. It would have been some good points. I mean, there was a lot of people. I think they said that they had like 10 boats break down on
Really?
Saturday. So
Wow.
yeah, because that guy told us, he was like, "You guys were one of many we saw," and I was like, "Yeah, that sucks. That's unfortunate." Because I mean,
Which guy? Tournament director Bob?
no,
Robert Evans? Bob
the guy
Evans?
that's out there on the boat. I don't remember his
Oh,
name.
the check-in boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, you're not the only one. The multiple people today," which for me, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, it sucks. I would have got some nice points. I don't think I would have cut a check, but I would have got some nice points. But I mean, he's got to go and deal with that now. So, and we all
Oh,
know
yeah.
how expensive that can get. So,
Oh, something like that is in the multiple thousands. That's not the
yeah,
boat bring out 1,000. That's bring out a few thousand, unless it
yeah.
was under warranty if it was a newer boat.
I don't
Or,
think it was. I think it was a
yeah,
13.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Boats take a beating. It happens all the time. But that's a lot of boats here. I checked on it. There was 90 boats scheduled up there.
92,
There
I
was
think.
eight. They only listed 90 on the website. So
Must have dropped. Somebody must have dropped.
yeah, yeah, on the
They
pairings.
were
I went to
asking
the
for
pairings.
co-anglers morning of, so
No
doesn't
way,
surprise
really?
me. Yeah, they sent out a text at like 4:30, and they were like, we need a co-angler," and I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, good luck with that."
Yeah. Oh, maybe co-anglers bailed, and that means the boaters couldn't go out, and they don't do boater on boater draws anymore. So okay, yeah,
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, that was my first tournament. We got the skunk out of the bag for that one. Hopefully, we're not gonna have another tournament like that. So,
It
um,
happens to all of us. I had on a
yeah, it
regional a
does.
boat breakdown too, and he could
It
idle.
happens.
So we're in Dale Hollow, where you got to go out to 100 feet. We idled to and we were right in front of the fish release place, and we saw all kind of fish. And he had his live scope, and he was telling me where to throw. He wasn't even fishing. He only did it because the tournament director said, "Hey, can you just idle around with the guide?" They came all the way down here, but those release fish wouldn't eat anything.
Yeah, and that's kind of how it was a couple years ago at the regional. Those guys were fishing the release, and everybody was throwing a fit about it. But I mean, you don't really
At
think those
Quad
fish have been
Cities
in.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those fish have been in the live well for the better part of 6 hours. Most of them, they're not going to want to eat
Hmm.
anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was interesting. I had a good
How'd your
day.
boater do? What did he
He
have?
had five. He had a full
Oh,
bag.
wow.
Yeah, I think he had like 11. Nothing crazy.
Wow. If I'm thinking when I was looking at it right, every boater who got 5 fish cashed a check.
Yeah, I don't think he would have though, because he didn't scope.
Um,
Because I
Number
think
18 had 12 pounds, 13 ounces, and
yeah,
5 fish.
yeah,
It took
he had
23.10 to win. That was much higher. I put out a little poll. Everyone was on the low side. I took
yeah.
21.12 and it was 23.10, almost 24. And on the co side, it was 11.4. So it was basically 24.11.
Yeah, I lost a bigger one
Ooh,
about midday, dragging that. that lure, and oh, dude, broke my heart. I snapped off on the hook set.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
So you
broke my
had
heart.
frayed line? You had frayed line, you think?
I
Or
don't
did
really
it
know.
break off in a knot?
No, it broke off midway up. It broke off at my swivel, so I lost the whole kit and caboodle.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah. Kentucky Lake, I've had that happen a couple times. It's got the hard bottom or the soft shells or zebra mussels.
we
And
were
man,
fishing those that it would
shellback,
go from mussel to pebble to back to mussel once you got deeper out. And in that
yeah,
intermissions where we were catching them, I caught a lot of fish. I mean, if I
on
had five
shorts.
bucks for every 14-inch fish I measured,
How
I
many
would have
shorts?
probably won more money than I would have in the tournament. So
How many shorts?
15, 20.
Holy moly! So you were out on the flats, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Like we weren't scoping. I mean, like I said, we rolled around a little bit. He had some spots that he was like, we might catch something here, but I don't know what he was throwing. He was burning a lipless most of the day,
Yeah,
um, and he caught a majority of his fish on the lipless, but they were just burners. Um, but before that tournament started, I mean, I was looking at the fishery report from the biologists that they were putting out, and I mean, they're seeing schools of 100 bass that are weighing 2 to 3 pounds apiece of
mm-hmm,
largemouth. They're really
mm-hmm.
making a comeback these last few years. So
Oh yeah,
they said that the percentages for the largemouth for like 2 to 3 pounds has gone up. I don't know, 20% from the last year, and they're seeing more bigger largemouth. They're seeing you're still gonna have giant smallmouth. I mean, Kentucky Lake right now is a smallmouth fishery. But my boater only caught one. Once we only saw one brown all day. The rest were largemouth. So it was interesting and different because I don't think I've ever been on Kentucky Lake where I didn't even catch a smallmouth. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. That is interesting.
so I definitely think the largemouth are coming back. I definitely think the LBL is going to have a good season the rest of the year. I think their tournament this year or this upcoming March, the 28th, is going to be a big weight tournament.
Yeah,
Those fish are gonna be coming off the pre-spawn, getting ready to spawn,
yeah,
and they're gonna be there's gonna I guarantee you there'll be one at least one 30-pound bag
yeah,
because somebody's gonna
yeah,
find them. I bet Mateo is gonna go out there and find them,
yeah,
and in this 3 hour period, he's gonna catch a lot of fish. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean it was a good time though. Good to get out on the water.
Yeah, it's funny your comment on largemouth. I know I fished LBL 2 years ago, and the winning bag was always three or four smallmouth and a
Yep.
kicker good sized largemouth.
Yep.
Very rarely would you see a four largemouth bag. Last year, I only fished one tournament, but it seemed to sway a little bit more 50-50. And my
Yeah.
buddy down there, Jerry Hall, was definitely saying, oh, we're seeing, we had some bad spawns, but we have the 1 to 2 pounders, and that was the beginning of last year,
Yep.
really showing up big time. And they had that slugfest with the BPT event there with a lot of 2 pounders. So they're like in the 3 pound range now. So
Yeah.
other people are seeing the same thing, which is great because the smallmouth are still there.
Yeah. The smallmouth are thriving. I mean, I kind of didn't. I didn't really expect to catch a lot of smallmouth going into it because I knew he wasn't scoping, and a
Yeah,
lot of those smallmouth are still offshore. It's nowhere near warm enough. And I mean, even when the pre-spawns for those smallmouth come in, they're not they're not anywhere near up on the bank that the largemouth are going to be. You know, some of them might be, but the ratios to the water temp was I don't know, like I think when we first started it was like 47. We ended the day on
wow,
49. I mean,
yeah,
they're right up on it's right up on that. Just a few more degrees, couple more warm days, and they're going to be full swing pre-spawn.
yep,
Um,
yep,
and they're getting fat. I mean, we saw some fat fish. I think Coaside was like 4 pounds, 11 ounces for big bass. So, I mean, there's some big fish. Um, and I the Lake of the Ozarks is going to be the same way. And
oh yeah,
it's going
it
to be a
was
heavy hitters
amazing.
tournament.
it was amazing that um, the temps were 43 to 45 only.
Mm-hmm.
The water was a little off color, kind of that winter turned over because they had the ice a few weeks ago, and
Yeah.
probably a little bit of the muck in there. So it was a little bit different than normal.
Did
But
you did you
in
throw like
that
a spinner
tournament,
bait at all?
I did not throw a spinnerbait at
No.
all. But everyone was catching them like 7 feet and under. And the report the week before was now they're 10 to 15.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they're moving up. They're
yeah,
wanting to. They know that it's time
yep,
to get up. Our
yep,
winter's just been weird.
yeah. And this warm week this week and warm water rain coming in, it's going to be awesome next week, I think, for
Yeah,
you because you're
I'm
going to
gonna
go do
lock
the
I'm gonna
Toyota,
lock
right?
yeah, I'm gonna lock a painted bladed spinnerbait in my hand and throw that every day that it's windy, and when it's not, I'm gonna drag something on the bottom close to the bank, throw a jig or something.
Yeah,
Big fat
yeah,
jig with a big old trailer. But
nice.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, hopefully it warms up a bunch. That could be a real slugfest.
yeah, I think so. I was looking at the weather. It's supposed to rain Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Hmm.
So, and not all day, but I definitely think it's going to help because I think the Lake of the Ozarks is at its lowest right now. That it'll
Yeah, it was
be,
about 5.5 feet low when we were out
yeah.
there the other week.
So I'd imagine, I mean, rain this week all week. We're going to at least get a foot of depth if it consistently rains all week. Um, and it's going to be warm.
Maybe more if it's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
rain.
Like I said, if it's consistent, I mean, even a light rain consistently will bring it up about a foot for a week of rain.
Yeah.
But if it's more, I mean, we could look at a foot and a half, 2 feet. I mean, even more if we get torrential downpour where it just doesn't stop for 12 to 14 hours at a time. Um, but yeah, I think it's gonna be. I think it'll be better than this week. I think we're gonna see some big bags for sure.
Oh, all over, all over. It's getting there. It was kind of cool there. I guess to kind of compare here. So Boulder went 23, 10, 21, 18, 18, 17, 16, 12 to get a check.
Yeah,
Co-angler side 11 and a half, 10, 10, 10, 8, 9, 15, 9 something, and 6 pounds 3 ounces to get 10th place, and 5 pounds 1 ounce to get a check.
yeah,
Brian here had the big pig 5-2 the week before, and it did not get him a check. It was
yeah,
weird. The bigger fish in both boater and co-angler, the bigger bags were on Kentucky Lake, but going down into the rankings, there was more bigger fish caught at Lake of Ozarks. Just they're kind of similar, but kind of different for this time of year.
yeah. And I think the big thing with the Ozarks is it's so like the Kentucky Lake is big, but the Ozarks just winds. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you could have, fish that are in pre-spawn on a part of the lake and then go all the way up to the top and have fish that are spawning. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in the month of March, you just never know what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, you want to make that run. Boy, I
yeah,
tell you, that was a cold 20-minute run at 29 degrees.
it was cold. It was cold on Saturday. I can only imagine how cold it was for you. I
It
was
was
freezing.
29 at takeoff. What was your takeoff air temp?
39, I think. 39 or
Yeah.
41. It was 39 when I got out of my car.
It was 70 at weigh-in time.
It was.
People were walking around in Hawaiian shirts and shorts at
Yep.
weigh-in.
Yep. White
What's that
shorts
time of
and
year?
Coors Light.
Uh, uh, so let's
Yeah.
talk about this kind of as normal here. Boater side, 62 out of 90 caught fish. So
Hmm.
28 boaters zeroed or DQ'd or broke down or didn't weigh. Sometimes they don't weigh.
Yeah.
Lake of Ozarks was 68 out of 86.
About the
And
same.
yeah, about the same, little different. And then co-angler side, kind of as normal, only 44 co-anglers weighed in to fish at Kentucky Lake. 50 did at Lake of Ozarks.
Yeah. I
A
think,
little over 50%. That's kind of norm for
yeah,
Illini.
and
Not norm for these lakes.
I would almost venture to say that a lot of the people that didn't catch fish just didn't read um they just didn't read the water, because I probably saw 30 boats with co-anglers that did not have an A rig. I understand that an A rig is very difficult to maintain, especially with the limited amount of
As a
space you have in the
co-angler.
corner.
Yeah.
As a
Yep.
co-angler, it's very hard. But it is a like, I'll still throw one next week. I'm gonna
Yep.
have it. And it's
Yep.
not gonna be big, and it's not gonna have as many blades on it, because they're gonna be more active, but I'm still gonna have it on the boat. It might be sleeved up half the day because the wind's not blowing right or it's too sunny, but I'm still gonna have it. And I think that was a big thing for a lot of these co-anglers. I feel like some of them kind of felt like the fish were still in their winter transition, and I felt like some of them thought they were in full pre-spawn, and that's just not the case. I mean, that
No.
water's got to get to like 52, 54
To get them
consistently
really
to
going.
get
Yeah.
them fired up. That's why
Yeah.
I think the tournaments this weekend and next weekend and the next few weekends, as long as this weather stays docile and doesn't go AWOL on us, we should have some really good tournaments with some really good weights.
Yeah, I'm headed down to Grand Lake for my first venture on Grand Lake for the BFL this Saturday. And um, I thought I read the other day water was like 52 degrees and it
Yeah,
should be
that sounds about right.
primed.
That
Hmm.
sounds about right. Um, yeah, I had a great day. Period. I mean, I couldn't complain. The guy put me on fish all
Yeah.
day. I mean,
Yep.
I had consistent bites. There was obviously lulls of periods where we didn't have
Right.
bites or anything like that, but we beat the areas until like there wasn't anything else to fish. Like, we were picking it apart pretty thoroughly.
Smart
So,
man.
um, and I mean, I feel like a lot of people weren't. I I saw I don't know what Tin Horse did throughout the day, but he was moving pretty quick when we saw him, and I think he knew what he was doing though.
He had
Um,
spots. He's been scoping
yeah,
spots and marking
he's
spots.
been all over the place.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's been all over. He knows what's up. I was so disappointed to see him weigh so little. I mean, I when I saw him with that with that Yamamoto, Matt, whatever it is, the minnow, I thought he was on him because he was locked in on that live scope where he was going. He knew what he was looking at. He was looking at something.
Hmm.
So I was really disappointed to see him weigh just those three.
Yeah, it's a humbling sport. I tell you, I'd look at names in the Lake of Ozarks contest as boaters that are hammers that did not do well.
Yeah,
Roger
yeah,
Fitzpatrick didn't even cash a check in that one, didn't even get a limit.
yeah.
What
And
does
see,
that tell you?
that
It can
tells you
happen
live
to
scope.
anybody.
That tells you live scope is getting
Well, I
rough.
want to get to that. That was one of the topics. I got the banner here. Um, and same thing in the LBL. There was some pretty big names. So um, even guys that you wouldn't think were live scopers. And one thing I noticed was really interesting, and I went back and I listened to the LBL live, took some mental notes, the way in. On the Lake of Ozarks, we were in early because we were kind of broken down, but I was talking with people and kind of half cop. I listened to that again. And in the Lake of Ozarks, none of the boaters really talked at all, at least on stage, about live scope or live scope periods or this and that. It was just like egg rig, jerk bait, jig. That's just. Um, but I found it really interesting in the LBL weigh in. A lot of the boaters were like, oh, yeah, I caught them all during my live scope period. Oh, maybe I should have saved my live scope period for later. Oh, I forgot to fish how to fish without a live scope. Oh, I had to go old school. I should have practiced some more that way. There was at least 6 or 7 comments um, to to that point that it's kind of throwing them for a little loop because now they got to be able to do both and manage
Yeah,
both, and it's very new to them.
yeah. And I think I've heard that everywhere, not just at the LBL. I was watching the I don't know, I don't remember which circuit it was, but I was watching it and they were talking to the guys fishing like, "What are you gonna do after your period's over?" And they're like, "I have no idea. Like this is my plan.
Yeah, yeah.
This is my plan." So yeah, I definitely think the sport became accustomed to live scoping, and I'm not anti or pro live scope. I think it's a tool, but I think if you're only using a hammer to build a house, the house is going to fall. So um,
What's
because
that saying? To a carpenter, a hammer can fix anything.
a hammer can fix anything, but a lot of other things help, I'm sure. And I think
Yeah,
that's what a lot of these scopers are realizing.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm hoping that it will. I think it's going to drastically increase the rates in the Toyotas, which is why I really wanted to jump in this one. It's kind of just an experiment. So,
An experiment. How so?
I just want to see how it's going to play out because I know that at the other Toyotas, I just got scoped
To
all
death.
day.
Yep.
Like the first Toyota I ever fished, I never even had a chance to throw at a bass. Like I was in 50 plus foot of water all day, every day. And
Where at?
I mean, at the Ozarks when it was
No.
back in
Wow.
February when it was frozen.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I threw a jerk bait. I kept my rod in the water, but I mean, about 1 o'clock, I just sat down and ate my lunch and said, you know what? I think I'm just going to come up there and watch you
I was behind
because,
Drew Gill on day one. Guess what I was watching? Uh,
hey, dude,
he,
Drew's
he
got
wasn't
it.
out in 50 feet of water. He actually fished too shallow the first day because everyone said they were catching them in about 20.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what my guy was catching. They were in 40, but they were suspended in 15 to
There's
20
yeah,
foot.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
So did you talk with your boater at all about the rule or when he was going to use it, or how did that go
Um,
down for you? A lot of co-anglers are interested in that.
So I just when they send out the pairing link, he called like right after the meeting was over, and I usually just straight up ask because I want to be prepared. Like if I know you're gonna scope all day, I'm not gonna bring 7 rods. I'm gonna bring like two. I'm gonna bring like a jerk bait and a Carolina rig to keep something moving,
Yeah.
maybe a jig. Um, and he's like, no, I'm not scoping. Uh, so I was like, all right, well we're gonna roll with it then. And
He didn't scope at all.
his live scope and his 360 never turned on. He had him
Wow.
shut off all day. He had one of his graphs on, but it wasn't for live scope. He was seeing the same thing I was in the back.
Yeah.
Um, just the water contour and then the depth with the old
A down
fashioned
image
graphs.
and
Yeah,
and a map and a lake map.
yeah, yep. That's what he was
Yeah.
looking at all day. It was split in half the screen, and we stayed pretty close to the bank. I mean, I think the most we got off the bank was like 25 feet, but it was 5 foot all the way out to the
Yeah.
25 feet from the bank. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I would encourage if you draw a scoper, just keep your line wet. I've caught them behind scopers. It is very discouraging, but I do think that this 3 hour rule is definitely going to help. And I think it in. I don't know if you heard about the wait list for the LBL division. But there was like 30 co-anglers on the wait list.
Mm-hmm.
I was on the wait
Mm-hmm.
list for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they called me less than 48 hours before the tournament and told me that I was fishing.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, it was a long wait list and I think there was like 25 of them that didn't get to fish. So, I definitely think that it's encouraging the co-anglers to come back, but on the flip side, there were co-anglers without boaters. So, I definitely think it's deterring some boaters because boaters are like, "Well, that's how I fish. That's how I
Yep.
want to fish and that's how I'm going to keep doing it. So, I'm just going to go somewhere that's going to let me."
Well, yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and I mean, like I said, I'm not against it. I've dabbled with it, you know. I enjoy it for certain occasions, but there's nothing like beating the bank with a crankbait or a jig or throwing a Carolina rig off offshore points. I mean, it's just I don't like video game fishing. If I got to do it, I will
Yeah.
do it. But it's just not it's not me.
You sound like a ITT candidate.
Yeah, it's just not me. I don't like it.
Um, Yeah, my guy was basically we talked about it. He hadn't fished many BFLs. He fished other divisions, and I brought it up with him at the Ozarks, and I'm like, well, there's a new rule this year. You can only use it for 3 hours, and it's 3 continuous hours. He's like, well, how do they police that? I'm like, well, you just got to set a stopwatch and tell me, and I got to keep you honest if they ask me or give me a lie detector test. So he's like,
They did it.
well,
They had us sign slips.
oh, you had to sign a slip when you at
Yeah,
weigh-in?
yeah. I didn't because we were disqualified, but
Oh, yeah.
other people, yeah, they had to sign slips. If you cashed a check, they made you sign a paper that said my boater only
Oh,
used it for 3 hours.
oh,
I have
interesting.
issues with that because I mean, you go to a Toyota and you've got 80,000 plus the 30,000 Phoenix bonus or whatever it is on the line. I mean, what's from keeping you from going, hey, here's $500 if you just keep your mouth shut and fish? Or on the
Yep,
flip side, I actually had a guy tell me that I don't remember, I don't think it was an MLF, but there's another like smaller organization that limited it. And he was told that if he would let him fish with it, um, he would let him catch his 5 fish. So that's probably another thing that it's gonna happen, I'm sure.
yep,
I mean,
yep,
when you have this much money, I mean, some people have no morals with it. It's just bound to happen.
yep.
Um, so yeah, I think that there's more policing when you get higher up. I know that the BPT had like the boxes that they were putting in the boats.
And they got a
Um,
marshal, and
and yeah, which I think is, I mean, I think it's needed for those bigger tournaments. Obviously, we're
right.
never going to hit that scale for that, but yeah, I think it's interesting, and I think it's going to raise a lot of questions.
Yeah, yeah. My guy brought that up. He's like, "What's to have the boater not, say, this or that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's because at least 99% of the people have morals and aren't going to cheat. And that 1%, it's always the 1%. And you know what? It's going to happen. And it's like every other rule you could break. I'm supposed to call you on. I guess I reacted a little when it first came out. Said, "Oh yeah, they got to have the timer boxes on there," but it's like, no, it's on us, and
Well,
that's interesting.
they said that they were going to when they sent out
Yeah,
the rules, and then they changed it like within a month. As soon as the BFL started, they were like, "Yeah, this is too much work. We're just going to
yeah,
say honesty."
yep,
So,
yep.
I mean, like I said, it's 99 and to the one. I mean, I'm going to
Hmm.
be a part of the 99 so that way I can sleep at night.
Yeah, me too. I couldn't. It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom was telling me about it. The mega bag was on practice for the Bassmaster Open. You said down at Rayburn, some guy caught a 50-pound bag.
54 pounds, 5 fish on a jerk bait on a
Got 11
six.
pounds of bass times five.
Yeah.
You had to probably use both live wells.
Yeah, you'd imagine. I don't know if it was it during an open? Was that what it was?
I don't know. I thought that's what you said.
Oh, no, I just saw that it was on a tournament trail, like it was a
Oh,
practice
okay.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. I want to know where he caught those because I think I'll go check it out and verify that that can
Yeah,
be
no
done
doubt. I'm sure you
because
can
that doesn't.
Google it in the background or someone can. I
Yeah,
saw that local Illinois boy, Ethan Fields, got 34, 35 pounds day two on that Santee Cooper shortened tournament to end up into 13th place. Our other Illinois boy, Levi Cole, he did okay day one, like 15 pounds, but he only got a bass on day two. You make the wrong call, you go to the wrong side of the lake, and these guys are all new to these lakes. They don't have the time in on the water like these other guys, so
and
it's fishing.
I think that time thing threw him off too. I mean, you lose a day of fishing. I mean,
Yeah,
some of those guys treat that day as a practice day if they didn't do good during
right,
practice.
right.
So yeah, you just never know.
A young boater, he did well. Yeah, you know what? Um,
I will say, yeah,
some
I agree with
guys,
this. Some of these younger kids
Trey
don't like the
McKinney.
trade. Well, some of the younger kids don't like sonar. They'll
Yeah,
use it, but they don't like it. Trey loves it.
Yeah.
But Trey can do it both. I mean, Trey's
Hmm.
just a he's just a freak of nature.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I love getting in the boat with a like somebody that's younger than I am, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not scoping. I got some big fish on offshore points we're gonna go fish for, but offshore points that you don't have to have live scope to fish them. They're on the bottom or they're
Yep.
top water or something like that."
Right.
Um, yeah,
Right.
I love it. Those are the best days. But you know what they say: a bad day fishing is better than a good day working.
Oh, it sure is. Even though I froze my butt off out there, it was good to have tournament season started. It was a long, unusually cold winter here in St. Louis. It's even worse in the Pana area. In fact, you guys
Yeah,
got snow last night, didn't you? I
we
saw.
did, dude. That was retarded. I woke up, it was like 70 degrees, and then Sunday morning it was like 40.
Uh-huh.
And then it dropped down to like 25 the night after and snowed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were joking. I woke up, there was just snow all over the cars and the roofs. I was like,
Yep.
this is dumb. And
Yep.
tomorrow it's supposed to be 70 again. So
Yep. Hey. Yeah, Brian. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
a lot of people use it for just finding structure
cover.
because
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, structure or cover because to look at down imaging and or side imaging and put it together in your head. I've practiced that for a long time. So man, I was called side imaging, co-angler, forward facing. I mean, that's all I need.
Yeah.
But some people aren't too used to it.
Yeah, I like the side imaging.
Yeah.
Um but my boater didn't have it on. So I wasn't
I
gonna.
ask. I most guys are cool. They're like, well, whatever you want to, put on there, right?
Yeah. I liked fishing with Gary because he's got that live scope hooked up to the back of his. He's got it hooked up at the steering wheel. He's up there throwing a top water, and I'm throwing a minnow behind him, trying to catch some of these fish that are 20 foot down.
uh-huh.
I love
Uh-huh.
it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, Gary didn't do too well either in
I saw that
the
he caught
tournament. I think he only
two of
had
them.
two or three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had two. Yeah,
It just
but
goes to show you how tough it is and how things can change.
yeah, and I think I wouldn't say for Gary so much because he's not that big of a scoper. I mean, he uses it, but not
Right.
like these kids do.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I really think that the weights changed because of it. I definitely
Yep.
think I think for a short period of time, maybe till the middle of the year, third or fourth BFL on our side, I think
Hmm.
the weights will decline and then they'll start to steady out because people
Yeah.
just aren't used to it. I mean,
Yep.
I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of DQs with it too because somebody's going to say, "Well, I just lost track of time. I'm used to fishing with it
Yep.
for as long as I want."
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I there's pros and cons to it. I think it's going to be good anyway.
Yep. Yep. So what about next subject here to hit is I thought you bought a little portable ice fishing Garmin and we're gonna try it out and I saw Matt Chumbler here took a picture of one on the boat, but I guess you said that wasn't you. You didn't bring it
No,
along or you didn't use it.
no, I didn't use it. And I really, after much deliberation, I don't even know that I'm going to use it at the Toyota. Um, I use a pretty big tackle bag, and it slides right into my compartment that I usually get so nicely. But trying to put an extra 7 inches in there for a box, or even laying it on top, I mean, you're going to risk breaking your screen. You're going to risk breaking something. And just
Well,
the
I
hassle
figured
to
you'd
only.
put that in the cubby and you just leave your tackle bag up front because when I had
Yeah,
a
you
bigger
could.
tackle bag last year and it wouldn't fit in most cubbies. I just had to hug it.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. I feel like the only issue with that would be there would be so much room in there that it would just bang around
Mm,
because you've
yeah,
got the scope, the box, and the pole. I mean, once you collapse all of it down, I mean, you hit that pole on the wrong thing, going 70 miles an hour, and you hit a white capped wave and go 3 feet in the air and come back down on it. Something's breaking.
yeah,
It's all
yeah.
plastic, Chinese plastic. So
Well, I mean the
yeah,
it's made to be on a boat. I mean, those they got,
The
marine
screens are,
grade,
yeah. The screens are. The boxes though aren't. They're made for the ice fishing. That was my
you
worry
mean you
because
mean
I
the
mean,
carry case box?
yeah,
Oh,
because it's
I thought it
all
was like a pad. I thought it was padded. No.
no, it's like 3D printed plastic.
Do you have it there? Can you show us what you're
No,
talking about?
I don't have it. I don't have it
You
with
don't have
me.
it. Okay.
But it's I mean, for comparison, it's about yay big on the bottom, and then you got your graph. Um, but it's all like plastic that's like this thin. It's all just super thin, and that's my thing with it. I mean, you spend so much money on it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you just take it out. And now, if it was like Kentucky Lake Regional, I'll do it
Mm-hmm.
then. I'll do it then because that's all there. There's going to be big fish during the regional,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, you're only getting. I don't know how they're doing it this year. Are they doing it the same way they did last?
No, they're
Everybody's
going
fishes
back.
2 days, or are they going back
No,
to 2 days and third days for
they're going
20
back
top
to four.
25?
They're going back to six regionals, four divisions of regional, 3 day tournament, top 20% or 20 or 15 or whatever it is, and only
Yeah,
the top 45 from each division. So they're going, old school again.
yeah. Which I love it. We ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, we
Yeah,
finished decent in points last year,
yeah.
so
Only because I pulled one of my rear end on the last tournament.
yeah. At the super tournament, that's the only reason Jeff made it, winning that super tournament, and
Yeah,
you just hit a dry spell. There's just nothing you can do.
yeah.
And
You got to.
mine was the opposite. I missed one fish and missed angler of the year, so
Yep, yep.
it just happens.
So so you got that little setup. It's at like a 9-inch screen or something.
6 inches,
Oh, six. Okay.
super
And
tiny.
when you've got like some telescoping pole, how does it attach to the boat when you want to use it?
So it doesn't attach to the boat. There's a battery in that box though, and it's heavy enough that it's not going to move it. And I mean, if you really wanted to, you could unscrew the bottom and put a little bracket in there that could like clip into the anchor point for the weigh bags on the back of that boat somewhere to make sure that it wasn't going to fall in. I don't think you have anything to worry about with that as far as the pole goes, because I mean it's aerodynamic enough that when you're riding around in the back of the boat or something, it'll just go on with it. I mean, it's not going to fall in.
I mean, but what is it attached to? How does it
So,
not fall in the water?
like the pole or
Yeah.
the
Well, I assume your sensor's on the pole and you got to stick it down in the water,
yeah. So
right?
the pole's attached to the box. It's on a pivot, so it's on this piece of plastic, and you can unhook it and then turn it, and it slides down and locks in, and then you
Oh,
can rotate it around.
so the scope and battery in the bag is essentially the mount for the pole that the sensor goes on, and it's got an offset arm or something to go. The bag's
Yeah,
on the side of the boat.
it sits on top of it, and then
Okay,
you pick it up and turn it, and it locks in place.
got you,
And then
got you.
there's a little handle you can rotate the head with.
Right.
So
So, did you have a chance to? I think you just got it really late last year. Have you had it out
uh,
and actually tried it?
no, I haven't had a chance. The lakes have been frozen. I mean,
Yeah.
I went out that one day and just threw around a bait for a little bit, but I didn't have a chance to get it out and really play with it yet.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of tough because
Yeah.
the other thing is how long does it take you to get it out, and then you got to tell your boater, hey, you got to give me an extra 5 minutes to break it down every time you want to move or whatnot, and just the
Yeah.
yeah, just the nuisance of it all here. Yeah.
Now I think if I could get it to where it would take like a minute, maybe 60
Yeah.
seconds, it might
Yeah.
be worth it. But
A
right
minute
now
or two.
I think I'm just gonna keep playing around with them and seeing.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe next year. I don't know. Maybe next year we'll move to the front of the boat. I don't know. We'll see.
Nice.
Maybe next year they'll say no forward facing sonar.
Um,
That'll be my year.
I think that may be in our future, but I don't. I think it's more than a year out. I mean, I've been pretty neutral on it, but I'll go on record. I think it's a great teaching tool. I think it's a great learning tool. I think it's a great recreation fishing tool.
Yep.
Um, Unless, like we're seeing, a lot of crappie fishermen are seeing the decimation of crappie. I mean, they reproduce quickly, but they're talking about it. I think it was Minnesota or Wisconsin had a vote on it from a conservation point of view. But I think in tournament fishing, I think it's not fair chase.
Yeah. And I mean, there's get there from now till the end of time till something better comes out. They're just going to argue. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
it's
know. Yeah,
I mean, we can't all be the Randy Blockett of the world, you know what I mean?
right,
So,
right,
I mean, because nothing would ever get done.
right.
And I get it and I agree with it, you know, to the extent of like I don't feel like it's right for you to backboat somebody all day scoping.
Yeah,
I like that they put a cap on it and said, "Hey,
yep.
it's not like they recognized it for the first time in probably 30 years. MLF heard the Coangler voice and they were like, "Oh, we're not going to do this anymore." Um, but
Hey,
yeah,
look, I just changed the rule.
yeah, we should 3 minutes. You get
Oops.
3 minutes.
It was 3 hours. I mistyped that. Nobody caught that. Oh, I did that
Three
on purpose to
minutes.
see if you guys are paying attention.
That's what we should do. 3 minutes. But yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
I think I agree. I think it's a great tool. I think it's a great learning device. I think it's awesome to see how fish react to your
Yeah.
lure. Because
Yeah.
if you're in
Yeah.
practice and you're throwing, let's say, a 6 cents hyper shad color, and they don't want it, but you switch to like a bone white and they're all over it, then you know, like, hey, tournament day, they're probably going to be on this bone white more than they are going to be on this hyper shad. And
Probably,
I
but you don't know. They change
yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying.
hourly.
So you could come back the next day and on your live scope throw that bone shad,
Yeah.
and they don't want to touch it, and you switch back to that hyper shad, and they're all over it.
Yep.
So
Or
I think it's
change
a
the
great
minnow
tool.
dimension, or
Yep,
change a different type of a minnow, a paddle tail versus a
that's what
cow tail
happens.
versus a nothing tail versus a yeah.
That's what happens for me a lot. You know, I like throwing that 3 inch Kitech, that little baby. I don't even know the name of it. I just like fishing it. A little itty bitty paddle tail. And if that doesn't work, I'll
Easy
just switch.
shiner.
Yeah,
The
easy
Kitech
shiner.
Easy
That's what it
Shiner.
is.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
And if that doesn't work, I'll just switch to a Sakamata shad, and that usually finishes it up. So
Yeah. What kind of
um,
jig heads do you like to use on your
I throw
blind minnows?
I throw tungsten.
Who's
I
tungsten?
like I like the 6 cents tungsten ones. I like the screw lockhead. I think the only
Yep.
one that I've found that doesn't have cheap hooks. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I've
Yeah.
hooked into logs with 6 pound test and drug the log up before I bent the hook out. I mean, that's the kind of hook that I need because when you hook into that big old fish.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I usually throw.
Go ahead. Finish your thought. I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, I was reading that comment. Yeah, I agree. I think if some like if they have like the cheating scandal with it, they're gonna lock it. They're gonna say, well, then if you can't handle not using it for the period that we've given it to you, you're not gonna use it at all. I think that'll happen. I think that'll be the
It,
scenario.
there is going to be a cheating scenario. You know, people have been
Yeah.
working
Oh
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you next. I don't want to say this because I'm sure that people that are directing the tournaments watch these because I mean obviously we're talking about their tournaments. I'm sure that if they come and watch these, this isn't a diss to anybody, but it's nothing against tournament directors or MLF that puts it on, nothing like that. It just happens in every tournament. Like
Yeah.
I
It,
mean, and somebody's gonna see it and
mm-hmm.
somebody's gonna say something, and then the people are gonna come and be like, well, we only fished for like let's say 2 to 4 or 1 to 4, and somebody's gonna be like, well, I saw you scoping at 8 a.m. And that's where somebody's gonna be like, oh crap, and that's where MLF is gonna be like, ah crap, because now they got to do something.
Lie detector tests. Right.
Yeah, yeah, the polygraph. But I mean, even then, I don't like polygraphs. In my line
False
of work,
positives. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, in my line of work, you get false positives, like false negatives. I mean, it's so
Mm-hmm.
easy
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
mess with them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if you tell somebody that just caught 30 pounds worth of fish, oh, you got to take a lie detector test. I mean, they're gonna have anxiety about it.
They're already jacked, right?
Yeah, I mean, their pulse is already through the roof. Their mind's already
Yep.
racing. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the lie detector test. I mean, last resort, sure, because I mean, even if it's a false positive, it goes to the board, and then you got to go in for your hearing, as they say, to see if they're gonna be like, well, this was false or it was positive, you know.
Right. Right.
Um, but yeah, I agree. I think if they catch enough people cheating or getting around these lie detector tests, they're just gonna take it out completely. I don't think they'll ever go back to the full 8 hours because I think if they do that, they'll lose the co-anglers.
Yeah. 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 I agree. Or they'll have to outfit timers for like a lockbox for everybody now,
Yep.
where it's, you know, or
Yeah, and
I
from what I
think
heard, those cost a pretty penny.
I can't imagine they cost that much, but you know what? They're trying to give us back more money. Speaking of that, $100 and $200 for big bass. Come on, peel some more money off the top.
So I was actually looking at that. Let's let's
Uh
let's
huh.
dive let's dive into that real quick. Uh, Here we go, right here. So for well, let me find it. Here we go. So for 100 boat field, it's a $2,000 payout for the co-anglers, and it's 4,000 for the boater. But we had 92 boats, and the payout was only like 1,400 for the
Mm-hmm.
boat or for the co-angler. And I was like, so
Mm-hmm.
8 boats is $600? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, they're making money. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. Their
they're
business.
making a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, it takes money to put on a tournament and everything, but they have some sponsors, and it is a business. And if you're
Yeah,
fishing these things to win money, you're in the wrong business.
you are. I mean, unless you get up on the tour, where they're
Yeah.
making like Drew Gill. I mean, he just broke 300,000 in the first 2 months of the year, so he's on fire.
Youngest $1 million angler ever.
Yeah, he's gonna be the next KVD. I'm calling it. You heard
Yep.
it here first. I said it. He's gonna be the next KVD if he
Well,
keeps it
I
up.
don't think you're the first one to say that, my friend.
Yeah, KVD probably knows it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's and it's live scope. I mean, it's a.
Yeah.
I was watching him that tackle warehouse, and he literally caught all of his fish
Oh
during
yeah.
his live scope period.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I definitely, I definitely think that there are kids that, or well, they're not kids, but I definitely think that there's people that optimize it. Yeah, I kind of agree on the they won't ever get rid of it all the way because they sponsor Garmin sponsors, Lowrance sponsors, Humminbird sponsors. I mean,
Yeah.
every time I open Instagram, it's MLF and Bass giving away, another Garmin Mega Live 2
Yep.
or not Garmin Mega Live. Sorry, the Garmin Mega and the Active Target, whatever. All those fancy live scopes to all these college kids. I mean, they're setting them up with it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they're never gonna take it out.
Here's some free crack.
Yeah, for real. It's like, yeah, it's like giving a crack addict crack and saying, well, don't you're not allowed to use this at all during these tournaments.
um, Castledine had a real interesting video on it. I saw a day or two ago, and he always has a very interesting angle. That's what makes him so popular. If you listen to any of his stuff, and he's saying it's a tool, and what it does is it does some incredible teaching things as opposed to watching videos. And it's people always say you can watch videos, you can read Bassmaster magazine. Nothing replaces time on the water. Even watching underwater videos doesn't negate you spending your time on the water.
Yeah, that I
And time
agree.
on the water is so much more efficient because you're getting instant feedback about what you're doing. When you don't
Yeah,
have it, I mean, okay, sometimes you can kind of see fish or bait or whatever and structure on non-live, but you're not seeing that reaction, not even on 360. But to see the way they react, the way you shake it, the way they come out of structure, the way they don't come at it, the way they chase it, unless you're in clear water watching them, which is rare, it gives you such efficient practice that no other method has, right?
yeah, I agree. And I would also go to point and say for like co-anglers, like a practice day. I'm not practicing any of these BFLs because we fish the same lakes every year. Doesn't change. The lakes are
Yeah.
trash. So if you catch fish, you're just lucky. Like if you just
Mm-hmm.
hit, you got to hit them in the head. So, but I would say for like this Toyota, obviously you want to get a day of practice in, maybe even two if you're really not certain what's going on with anything. Um, but yeah, I agree. There's nothing like on the water knowledge because you could give somebody an iPad and then put them on the water and them not know that they need to throw a spinnerbait on a wind beaten bank when there's
Mm-hmm.
bait fish. Like, or you could tell somebody, you know, like it's overcast, you might want to throw a painted bladed spinnerbait or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Like they may not know that just by
Mm-hmm.
watching. Like somebody can tell you that,
Yeah.
but I guarantee you, if you go out on the water and you think about it and you make that decision on your own 2 cents and you put together like, well, hey, it's overcast, wind's blowing, maybe a painted chartreuse and white spinnerbait right here would be all right. And then you start catching fish, you're not going to forget that. I mean,
Right.
but that
What
pattern,
kind of what kind of blades? What size spinner bait? What color spinner bait?
doesn't
What kind
matter
of
what size as long as you put it in
trailer on
front
the
of them.
spinner bait?
If you're throwing a trailer on a spinnerbait, it's too cold outside.
Oh, I don't know if I agree with that one, but I hear what you're saying.
I have never thrown a spinnerbait with a trailer and caught fish on it ever.
Hmm. Good, you keep that up.
I've thrown them with a trailer. I feel like it's just bad luck.
Hmm.
The 3 hour
Interesting.
rule play out at the LBL. I don't really know if it was fish more in the morning or after. I got DQ'd. I wasn't able to listen to the weigh in, and they didn't like Jeff was saying. They didn't really talk about it a whole lot. Some guys really voiced their opinions on it, but I talked to a lot of guys, and they said that it was midday. I mean, it wasn't really afternoon or in the morning. I'm sure some of them hit a spot first thing in the morning and caught 15 pounds on their scope first thing in the morning to get that early bite. But I've never like every person that I've fished with on Kentucky Lake has never scoped in the morning. We've always first thing we've gone to a bank because I mean if you're fishing Kentucky Lake any time of year, topwater is always a good place to start, unless it's freezing. But
Well, yeah, I think a couple of things. At this time of year, I find the better bite is always a little later in the day
once
too.
that sun comes up a
Yeah, when
little
the
bit,
water's cold, whether it's be later in the fall or early in the spring. And then I don't know what your conditions were. I think it was kind of overcast to begin with,
it was
too.
open on the morning. I mean, there wasn't a cloud in the sky
Oh,
at
okay.
7 a.m. And then once we kind of hit like I'd say noon, clouds started rolling in, coverage a little bit more, wind started picking up a
Okay.
little bit.
Yeah.
So
And it might depend on, your boater, if he had shallow fish or deep fish or
yeah,
afternoon fish. I heard a couple guys say, I started it early or I started it at 8 or 9. I wish I would have delayed it an hour because the bite got better later on. That's a couple of comments I nicked.
yeah, and I mean, like I said, I I was just kind of wanting to get back to the ramp because by the time we got back to the ramp, I mean it was 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So they were wrapping up the tournament.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think they consider it as live scope, but I think that they consider it a tool that greatly improves the use of live scope. 360, I don't know if you're not familiar with it. 360 shows you the 360 degree of the transducer at the bow of your boat, and it shows you all the stuff that's under the water. And you can see fish if you know what you're looking for. They look like shadows cast on. It's not like a fish shape, but it's like a ball, a fishy ball. I don't know how to explain what it looks like. I could show you.
It's basically side. It's like side imaging, but the sensor slowly into a side imaging.
Exactly.
So it's not live, but it's
Yeah.
scanning the whole area with like side imaging.
Yeah, and so a lot of people will use their 360 to see fish, and then they'll use their scope to target those fish. So that's I'm pretty sure that's how they explained it at the meeting that they had. Why they why they only have the 3-hour rule for both of them, because if you take away live scope and you leave 360, you're still going to be able to throw directly to that fish. I mean, it's still giving you you're just not seeing it live. I mean, it's still giving you the same distance from your boat, the same area. Like if you rotate your boat to where it's saying there's a bed of fish on a log, you can still throw a minnow at them. I mean, you can gauge how far they are off the log.
You don't see the live reaction.
Yeah, you just don't see the live reaction.
Right. I think
that's why they ban them both, because they really do play hand in hand.
I saw a couple of debates on that online or videos or in some forum, and you're seeing it already, I believe, with Lowrance and their new sensor. They basically have a sensor that will do forward facing and like live 360. They knew it was in the works already, so they're like, we'll just nip it in the bud, as opposed to Bassmaster, who just says, no, 360 isn't live, you can still use 360. Because I was surprised in that first tournament. I'm like, the guy's got his 360 on. What's going on? And I've like looked it up, and they said they didn't ban it. But what I forgot, Lawrence has his name for it. And I'm sure everyone's going to have it too, and VR goggles and all that stuff. But
is it
that was one explanation I saw.
Is that that like V-shaped transducer?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that. It's the new Lowrance active target, like XL2 or something. Weird looking transducer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever think it's gonna beat Garmin though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't think you're ever gonna beat Garmin. That Garmin LS34. I mean, that's top of the line.
They were ahead of everybody, so they're gonna they can pour a lot of money into keeping that advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the Illinois Team Trail said no live, but you can have 360. Didn't
I don't think so. I don't think you're allowed to use anything.
Okay, maybe I'm confusing it with something else. I forgot.
I know USA Bassin said something for live, but I don't know that they ever finalized it.
Yeah,
I saw last year that they put out like an update, because everybody was asking if they were going to do anything about it, and they were like, well, it's in the works, we'll let you know what we decided. But I never saw anything for them. But I know like the Winter Series ITT was no scope, like nothing.
Hey, before I forget about it, kind of a little bit of a commercial, but save you guys some money. If you don't know, every year Bass Pro has their spring fishing extravaganza, and if you're a club member, club card, you get more. But they always do this great deal where it's trade in your old rod and reel, and it can be a really old broken down rod or reel, and you get a prorated, it's like you get $10 off, something's less than $99. And if it's over $200, you get 20% off, or 10 to 15%. And what they do is they donate all these rods and reels to like local charities and take a kid fishing. So, you're kind of paying it forward a little bit too here. Now we're talking about new electronics. They'll probably have electronics on sale. I know if you guys are fishing tournaments already, you have already probably popped your wad on a bunch of tackle already. But it's just a good deal. And I'm a firm believer in that. helping the kids out, and you get a good deal out of it too if you're looking for something. So you all stocked up, or do you make your own rods too?
No, I don't make my own rods. I buy cash and rods. Cash and rods are.
Yep.
Yeah, they've been good to me.
Well, Zimmer's got both on his boat. Man, you should be a boater, dude. You're a pro. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. The 3-in-1. They're trying to get ahead of the game, but they're already behind so far that there's just no chance to catch up at this point.
Yeah.
You can just try to.
I heard some people say, hey, Garmin is still better, but their active target too was pretty darn good, getting pretty close. Not there, but pretty darn close.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people say that too. They really like the active target.
Yeah.
Even the one, like the first gen active target, people were like, "This is great." I mean, it's an alternative, cheaper way to have live scope, because you're paying for what you get with Garmin. I mean, you're losing like 2 or 3 like lines of transducing, or so I don't know. It's something like that. You're losing like 1 line of code or something, a RAM. I don't know. You're losing something in the transmitter, so you're paying for what you get. But for somebody that's like getting into this, I mean, it's a great alternative. Even I don't know if anybody knows the Lowrance Eagle Eye 9. If you don't know if you don't know what any live scope is, that's the way to go. If you can learn how to fish with that, you can get your hands on any live scope in the game and be ready to fish with it. Yeah,
I mean they've sold a lot of those. A couple of guys on my lake I know were pulling the trigger last year on that to, it's kind of saying, hey, I know I can't compete, here without it, so I can get in for $1,000. I'm going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, and I mean even now I think you can get it for like $699.99. Yeah, and it still works. I mean, obviously you're a little outdated with it, but you can still make it work. I mean, if you really want to put in the time to learn how to fish a live scope, that would be where I would start. Because dropping $5,000 on a graph and transducer and transmitter is just not.
Either you got to have the money, or you got to be you're really doing it. You're committing, and you're.
Yeah, and I mean, with how much everything is right now, I don't know who's got the money to drop $5,000 for unnecessities. I'm spending too much on fishing regardless. I don't need another $5,000 graph.
Hey, you were talking about making some jigs and stuff there, and last time you were on, you're talking about having some tackle in Craig's Tackle. Are you still got your little custom tackle thing going here, and you want to talk about that a little bit?
We can. I do custom painted lures and stuff. If you're in the Illinois area, you can check out Craig's Sporting Goods in Shelbyville on Main, and they've got just about anything you could need in there. I mean, I know that we had some warm weather. I haven't been in. I've been out of town, but they stay pretty stocked up. I mean, they carry 6 cents, Berkeley, Max Scent. I mean, they've got top hat jigs for the crappie. They've got some other stuff for the crappie. I'm not a big crappie fisherman. So.
They got a bunch of musky lures.
Yeah, they got lunging, and I make some musky lures that have been doing pretty well. So, you can check them out. I mean, I make glide baits. I make all sorts of stuff. So.
Yeah. Jim's had it for 3 years. You're probably ready for an upgrade there, Jim. What are you shopping for now here? I saw the LBS 34s. Everyone has been selling EchoMap 2s and LVS 34s and going on sale. That usually means the next one's coming out soon. I haven't followed it, but I bet it's out there soon.
Well, even the LS 34 is on sale right now for like the 10-inch screen. It's like $21.99.
Yeah.
Which that's like $2,000 off.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
economy's kind of tight too, so I'm sure that's part of it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And I think they've paid for the design a few times over.
yeah, that's for sure. Honestly, you could probably get away with only swapping your transducer and everything's still working fine.
Yeah.
Because I mean the graph didn't really change.
So I went by, I saw Bass Pro had their Guidewire raincoat $50 off, and I'm going to get poured on here. And I've got the super heavy gear Gore-Tex, but I didn't have the light one, so I got that. And I hadn't got myself one of these yet.
Is that
The clap
yeah,
tail.
the Jacob
And there
Wheeler
was
design clap
one,
tail?
yeah, I like the 110, and there was one bone left on the shelf. So I'm like, mine. Yeah, it's got the piece back here where it wraps against it, and I'm like, ooh, a little early, but very soon. I'm gonna take
Yeah,
it
I'd
with me
give
to
it
Grand
another
Lake.
month. Give it another
Uh-huh.
month. Now I will. I saw that. I know I gave Randy Blockett a lot of crap for being such a negative Nancy about the fishing community, but he was talking about that early spring spinnerbait bait.
Oh, he does that every year. It's a real deal, man.
Yeah, I've tried that. I tried it last year, and it works. I was really hoping he was not going to release another video because it works well. It works really well.
Yeah.
And I was really enjoying doing that last year at Shelbyville for a little bit.
Hey, dude,
And
you see my video on Pana last year with that?
I haven't. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. I haven't watched any of the ones you've done on Pana.
Yeah. Yeah, it works there too.
I mean, I catch bass in Pana Lake. I mean, people trash it. I mean, but if you know where to go, if you know, it's easy to get lost on Pana and spend time in the wrong spots.
Mm-hmm.
But people just overcomplicate it. They have those Wednesday night tournaments out of there, and they just overcomplicate it.
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, so your season here, so you've got that Toyota, that'll be next week.
Yep.
Okay, and then the next LBL is the 28th again, exactly 1 month.
Yeah,
Huh?
I'm not fishing that one. But I just know that it's going to be a slugfest. They're going to be right in pre-spawn, right at the end of pre-spawn, trying to spawn.
Yep.
You might even have some active smallmouths in spawn at that point.
Oh, I think smallmouths for sure, especially if you say the water's already 47, 48.
Yeah.
Another month down there, yeah, it'll probably be there for sure. They come a little earlier.
Now, if we get all that rain and it raises the lake up like it did last year, we're going to be in for a heck of a Toyota.
Yeah, that's like the 9th, 10th, 11th. The third day overlaps the Illini opener. Hey, if you make day 3, you make day 3.
That's right.
Especially after Ren Lake opener last year.
Oh my gosh.
A little sour taste in everybody's mouths, huh?
Not in mine.
No? Well, you caught one fish and you got a check,
I got
right?
fifth place. I got fifth
Woohoo!
place of one fish. I've never
With a
in my
2-pounder?
life caught a 2-pound bass and got fifth place. Ever. No.
Nice.
I was ecstatic.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
Caught it on a tube.
A tube. You know what? I threw tubes on that lake for the 2 years before and only caught a couple shorts. I had them in my bag last year.
Yeah. I throw a secret tube. We can talk. I'm not disclosing those goodies yet. Maybe next season at the end.
Okay. You got a secret tube for everything. Do you pour your own soft baits or no? Just make hard baits?
Nope. It's not even the bait. It's just the terminal tackle.
Gotcha.
I've got custom made tube heads.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you kind of mentioned that last time.
Yeah. Gives it such a nice Danville water temp, 51 mid-morning. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting up there. Like I said, I the last time I saw the graph, it was 49 when we got off the water. So,
Yeah.
I mean, give or take, all those boats moving around may have
Right.
messed with it a little bit, but 49 was the last one I saw.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, it's going to get going there soon.
We are entering the season of big bass.
Oh, I know. I'm just so ready to go. We had the 28th. I'm going to be down. At least I'm scheduled to go to Center Hill down in Tennessee. Now you're making me think, do I want to change that and hop in this one? But no, I want to try some of these different lakes. It's kind of, even if you don't catch fish, it's just fun to go to a new lake and see something different, a different lake, isn't it?
Yeah. I've really been thinking about going down to Florida and fishing one of their BFLs down there just once.
Yeah.
Because
I thought about that too.
It's a beast. Florida is a beast.
Yeah. Or like Rayburn or Fork somewhere down in Texas, you get about the same size bass and drive half the time.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, we're going down to Georgia later this year, and I really thought about just extending it a little bit and slipping down to the coast.
Yeah, you should.
I decided
You're all the way
against
there.
it. I decided against it.
Yeah. Maybe next year, huh?
Well, we might still do it this year. Just depends on how this Toyota goes. If I win this Toyota, I'm going to have a boat and be able to do whatever I want.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So.
Hey, Bradley. Happy belated birthday, almost face-to-face here. His birthday was on Saturday.
Yeah. And
he didn't get a fishy-smelling present.
I think I talked to him.
53-degree water in the back of a cove, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bradley, were you the guy that I talked to that said that he had a nice thing, Captain Jack Morgan waiting at the house for him
to warm up after that cold day?
Yeah. $55 a case Princess beer. Is that what you were talking about on Saturday? Yeah, 50. Yeah, all right. Well, I hope you had a great birthday. I wish you would have caught some fish.
He never gets skunked, especially on his home lake. Well, that's the time it's going to happen. I mean,
well, that's why he said that
it's so not under your control as a co-angler to, not completely, but to kind of a large degree.
That's all right, Bradley. You know why? Because our regional this year is on Kentucky Lake, so we're just going to give them twice the bang for the buck this year.
Yeah,
Bradley's gonna get to sleep in his own bed while we're all uncomfortably sleeping on dadgum hotel mattresses.
Mm-hmm. You know what he could do this year? He could pull a Jeff Anderson. He could zip all year and then just win the big one.
He can't do that because I got to get Angler of the Year this year. This is my year. Yeah. I'm claiming it. Can't do another fourth place. I can't do another fourth place year. Can't do it.
Cool. All right, everybody. We got some final questions and answers here for Tom while we got him here. Everybody, hey, what's your next tournaments here? We probably got some Ozark guys aren't until April 4th. We'll be down at Table Rock for that one. Nothing in March. Weird schedule. Red Crest is on Table Rock like the 2 weeks afterwards. Kentucky Lake will be the 28th is the next one. The Toyota next week. We got the Toyota on Kentucky Lake, and then Illini opener on the 11th here. So we're getting up to like a pretty busy month coming on here.
And I actually am doing this year. I'm doing Strike Kings Tournament Road to the Opens. If you guys haven't heard about this, I did a video on my Instagram about it. So they're doing an online and in-person tournament. And if you qualify through either one of them, everybody fishes a tournament on Table Rock later in the year. And if you win that tournament, they will do an all-expense paid trip to the Bassmaster Open. So you're guaranteed a spot to fish the Opens in the 2027 series.
Wow.
And I think it's I don't think I'm going to win it, but I think it's a very awesome opportunity for a Joe Schmo because fishing has definitely become a rich man's sport. Boats
Yes.
are the cost of houses. I mean, we're paying
Yep.
$30 for an Ika bait. I mean, come on, guys. It's a
Mm-hmm.
15-cent piece of plastic. So I definitely think it's a great opportunity. So if you guys haven't heard about it, go on to Instagram, look at their account, and you'll have to download the Fishing Chaos app, which it's an online platform. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it, and if not, super user friendly. Check that out. It's $20 to enter. So I don't get any money for this, so don't shoot the messenger. This is just something that I think is really cool. I do it every year. Last year they had the Big
Nice.
Bass Bash, and this year they're doing the Roads to the Open. So I'm just giving them a little bit of an extra shout out because it's really cool. I definitely think it's
No, that's a
something
really
different.
cool deal.
I think it's something different that they're doing.
So when you say online, like it's catch photo and send in your
Yep.
online every month or
Yep.
something.
So it's the whole month of March, the first one. So there's 3 qualifying rounds. So it's March, April, May. And so it's from March 1st to March 31st is the one I'm doing because my fisher, I mean, I've got the most tournaments this month. And so I'm going to take my bump board, to the Ozarks practice day and my identifier code. And you can fish on the bank. You can fish out of a boat. You can fish out of a kayak. As long as you're fishing on public water, public lake, public whatever, you're good to fish. So, you just snap a picture of your identifier on a qualified bump board. I got the hog trough from Shields. It was like $17. I've had it for years, 2 or 3 years now. So, I enjoy it. So it's a good, cheap way to just get out and fish on your own time and still have that competitive outlet to have that little incentive, if the weather's really bad, you still get out and fish because there's no better teacher than being on the water.
Amen to that, brother. All right, parting thoughts here for the day here. I'm getting excited and packing up for Grand Lake. I've never been there. It's a famous lake. I've watched, the last few kind of Bassmaster tournaments and Classic on there. Some other people's, videos here. So getting a little more familiar with the lay of the lake here. I won't have a chance to do any practice here, but still looking forward to a new lake. It's always a fun new travel destination, right?
Yeah. I love it. I remember the first time I went and fished Kentucky Lake. It was like a little girl on Christmas.
Yeah. You see all those famous videos on Kentucky Lake and those KVD videos and those Tommy Horton videos and all that stuff, and you're like,
and then you get to fish it and you experience it and you're like, oh my gosh.
I've seen that bridge on TV. Oh, this bank looks like that I saw on TV. Oh, there's that plantation building. No, we show that on TV, right?
Yep. Yep. And you know what they say? 70% of the bass are in 20% of the lake. So there's a reason people are fishing there.
Yep.
So, yep. They don't sleep on those spots. Maybe they're, yep, that's it. The road to the opens. I would encourage. I know that they just did an in-person one somewhere. I don't know where it was. I just know that on March 1st they had a tournament, and then they got one in on the Kentucky Lake, and then they got one on Table Rock, and then they're going back to Table Rock for their big championship tournament to see who's going to win the Opens ticket.
So do they in those live tournaments, do they have Coangler spots or is it teams?
No. So it's single tournament. So if you qualify, which we'll talk about this after stream, but if you qualify for that tournament, you have to get a boat to fish the big tournament on Table Rock.
Okay.
So that's that whole deal.
Yeah.
So it's a little skewed and a little flawed because obviously if you've got people fishing, on the bank or out of a kayak. They can't just pull a bass boat out of their rear.
Well, yeah.
28th, and you're going.
Nice.
We're gonna have some good fun at the Illini opener. We're gonna have some. I would imagine. There's gonna be a lot of bush lattes that get drank at the Illini opener. It's always that rough, so make sure you bring a big lunch. So yeah, I can't believe Tin Horse gave away those baits. I couldn't believe it.
Gave away what baits?
On the Ren Lake, he got on YouTube and was telling everybody that on the Ren Lake he won on those worms.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. I about lost my mind when I saw that video. I was like, how dare you throw my secrets out here?
I don't know if it's that big of a secret.
Well, I think technique.
Yeah.
And people say there's not technique, but there is.
Yeah.
You can't throw a half-ounce shaky head and expect to catch a 4-pound bass.
Well, not in rocks and shallow water.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
So I just pray that we're not going to have another repeat of last year where it was 44 degrees when we launched and the water was frigid.
Horrible. It was 34 degrees when we launched.
Yeah, it was freezing.
Yeah.
And it was in the middle of April.
Mm-hmm.
Or March. End of March, wasn't it?
No, it was April. It was April. It was it was about the same time, April 15th or 14th or something.
It better be spring weather. I want 62-degree air, 55-degree water temps. I want spawning fish with no flood, because when they sent us there, it was flooded, and them fish were on the bank, back in them trees where nobody could get to them.
Yep.
So couldn't do that again. I'll flip and go to somewhere else. I'm sure there'll be another tournament on that weekend.
Oh yeah, Kentucky Lake Day 3.
That's true. That's true. I might not even have to go to that one. So.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming along for the ride here. I don't got anything planned for next week yet. We'll see how things go here. If you guys have any idea for guests or topic, shoot them to me. Let me know, or a friend of a friend here who could maybe teach us something. Let me know. Thanks, Thomas, for coming out and sharing again.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Take a kid fishing and keep your line tight, everybody. Until next time, take care.